who say you gotta be a big man to compete in the NBA?
Not us, Shorty.
That's right. Allen and Jerome. That's us. We gonna creep on in.
Creeping like a creeper.
And drop some Stephon Marbury inner city funk. I'd love to see the face of the fool trying to D my slamming moves to the hole. Yo, David, you may be bigger than me, but you need to get yourself some copper tone lotion.
Why that, baby?
Cause you just got burned.
God bless America. God bless our troops. And God bless St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. Drivers, start your engines.
How cool was that? Captain Buzz Lightyear gave the command to start engines. The Subway Fresh Fit 500 from this past Sunday was our first one that we watched on TV for ourselves since the 2021 running during what was known as the vaccine year, because every year after that, from 2022 all the way up to last year, we would always be, recording our usual end of winter activities, but this year was different. It happened a week sooner because it ended up warming up the weekend we normally do it in past years. Spoiler alert, Tyler Reddick's, the dominant, streak to start the season of winning came to an end, but I will tell you who won a hell of a lot later, because he still got a good top 10, to keep his consistency alive, starting off the season with, a top 10 in each and every race. 23-11 is on a roll. So that's why Michael Jordan's the GOAT, not LaFleur and 6 in the finals, because fuck him and everything he stands for. But I digress. So, therefore, the 2 to go in stage 1. I'm already losing track of what I'm fucking saying. So, anyway, what I was trying to say was, it's no surprise that for most of the day, Blaney and Bell were the top 2 cars to beat all day, since they're basically, the kings of Phoenix International Raceway nowadays, whether it's the Subway Fresh Fit 500 in the spring or the Checker Auto Parts 500 in the fall. And this was a better Phoenix race than we've seen in past years, probably the best Subway Fresh Fit 500 we've seen in a long time, and definitely miles better, than whatever the fuck last year's Checker Auto Parts 500 was to decide the championship. But you'll find out why. So therefore, it was basically like the night and day difference, basically a carbon copy. See what I mean? Look at this. Here's the first, big accident of the day. What my dad's driver got pretty lucky in this wreck, not to get too much damage, because he was able to stay in the race and get back up there. But unfortunately, later on, his fate was decided. You'll find out later. So he got a little loose right into Priest, who got into Elliott. It was no biggie. They basically, Elliott and my dad's driver Suarez got, had only cosmetic damage, could still compete for a good finish and was still somewhat competitive. But Briscoe, I thought he lost the tire, but it turns out he was a brake failure, and the rotor just fucking exploded and got sent into the wall. So basically, it set the tone for this race. A good year, okay, calm down. It was basically a demo derby shit show in the form of a Goodyear demo derby shit show. And you thought, well, isn't this the same bullshit we saw in the Checker Auto Parts 500 at Phoenix? Well, that was not even a good race, only because it was involving, quote-unquote playoff implications, and that's how it decided the championship. That should not be happening in a championship race with tires exploding from left and right, causing all these wrecks and cars going up and hitting the walls, and all those wrecks in general, even when they're tire related. So, but since it was the spring race, and it was too early to talk about the championship and who the real contenders are going to be in the which we won't find out till somewhere till late April and beyond. This was different, so no championship implications to worry about. We'd have to worry about deciding the championship in the most bullshit way. So this was the good kind of demo derby shit show in the form of a Goodyear demo derby shit show. You would think we're at Talladega, Daytona, or Atlanta, like a super speedway restrictor plate race. When you hear me say demo derby shit show, well, this was basically a 150 mile an hour demo derby shit show, because that's how fast you're going at the Phoenix International Raceway. And see right here, I thought also Gregson, my homeboy, lost a tire, but much like Briscoe, his Ford teammate, lost a brake rotor, but this one was to a bigger degree than Briscoe, because eventually the rotor failure was stronger than Briscoe's. then to the point where it ended up cutting his right front tire, and pieces of the tire came off, and Byron ran over it. He had tire trouble. Like, his disastrous start to the season, well, I wouldn't say disastrous, that's a poor choice of words. His semi-disastrous start, I mean, he moved up higher in points, but he really hasn't made as much noise as he normally makes. He hasn't been this. Hopefully he can get it together, as well as Chevy in general. Zilic had multiple tire troubles today. Sunday. Jesus Christ, this was one of them. And what's not shown here is that Custer, basically had a piece of tire go through his grill and bust the radiator, which took his ass out of the race. And so it's no surprise that Christopher Bell here won the second stage, because, he and Blaney are basically the modern day, your current goats of the Phoenix International Raceway. So therefore, we'll talk more about them later towards the end of this recap, this part of the recap, because this is basically a double feature because it was the first NASCAR San Antonio Spurs doubleheader of the 2026. This was just a typical Robbins racing deal between Priest, Zilic, and Ricky Stenhouse, even though I can't stand Stenhouse, but he was not at fault here. No harm, no foul. So here's one of the restarts where fake Ward Burton, took out the crotch of Doom's driver, got, Anthony Alfredo subbing for the injured Alex Bowman, all four wheels off the ground, and basically took out his own teammate that he crashed out over. And look at that, he tore that shit up like Terry Labonte, big time. Crashed out over him, about him, not wanting to cause a wreck in last year's Aaron's 499 snooze fest, but yet he does the exact opposite. And the downfall of Kyle Busch continues, and Shane Van Gisbergen had a harmless spin. But here was the best part of the race. The dinger took fake Ward Burton's ass out. The 3-car missed it, but too bad my dad's driver had to be caught in the wreck with this wannabe Ward Burton, who can't even carry Ward's helmet, or let alone carry his what was the thing that was feeling a coda last week? But I digress. Beautiful sight to see. The fake Ward Burton out of the race. And unfortunately, the 3-car had his day, top 10 day come apart. But he somehow, got minimal cosmetic damage, got the tire change, got that cosmetic damage fixed. And he was lucky to rebound up to at best 16th place, which it didn't feel like a 16th place finish, much like his brother in the Pepsi 400 at Daytona 2017 that he almost won. It felt like we still finished top 10. So what happened here? Oh, yeah, it was not a double whammy, a triple whammy. 3 of my favorites, Nemechek, Austin's brother Ty, and Zane Smith, all in the same wreck, but I didn't get as mad as last year's chase race at Vegas, because I had 2 cautions in a row where I had 2 of my favorites in the same wreck, which really pissed me off that night, basically, when my mom's cousin Chelsea was over with her husband and 3 kids. Like, that was even to a more bigger degree, because a bunch of my favorites except for 2 are dropping like flies. But here we go at the end of the race, Blaney and Bell duking it out. So therefore, it's no surprise that this was the case, because these 2 are the best at Phoenix in current NASCAR these days. I mean, Bell put up a fight. I mean, I bet you if it was 10 laps, there was 10 laps to go, we would have had a better chance of catching him, let alone passing him. But Ryan Blaney saved Team Penske in this race from a total Penske meltdown, with fake Ward Burton crashing out, and him before that, getting his before getting his karma, taking his own teammate out at the expense of the Crutch of Doom's driver and Steve Parksel number, Ross Chastain. Ryan Blaney wins the Subway Fresh Fit 500 at Phoenix International Raceway, and ends Tyler Reddick's dominant, win streak to start the season. As Reddick, I can't even see, because, they're putting up the winner graphic. I don't even know where he finished. I mean, can we fucking show it, please? Okay, so he finished a good 8th place. So he's finished top 10 in each and every race. Now for the Spurs game later that night. All right, so this one right here turned James Silas 13 years old yesterday. But so just like with the person behind the camera and her brother, in the middle of that, cold winter during the off season, I don't know if you heard, but the Spurs and Wemby during the winter, during my hibernation, started a tradition after every Spurs home win where they bring this drum out and they just get the crowd to do this Jackal's clap every time they win a game. So remember and then like that. Okay, spread your arms out. Okay, and every time I bang the drum, twice you clap. Okay. Here we go. It gets faster.
Liam, stop.
All right, happy James Silas' 13th birthday. Dale, 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 2-1-0. Dale, 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 2-1-0. Go Spurs, go Wemby, swipe on the fox.
Spurs family, get up on your feet! It's time to read the starting lineup for your San Antonio Spurs. 6'3" guard from Kentucky, number 4, De'Aaron Fox. 6'7" forward from St. John's, number 30, Julian Champagnie. 6'5" guard from Florida State, number 24, Dylan Lissell. 6'6" guard from UConn, number 5, Stephon Castle. And 7'4" forward from France, number 1, Victor Wembanyama.
All right, the Spurs last meeting versus the Cheating McDouchebags in the SBC Center as a repeat of January 20th when, we made Explosion Boys night. Wembanyama with the 3-ball to start the game on a high note for the good guys in the black and silver. So, therefore, remember during this past, season of winter production, we went to the Explosion Boy and to make his night, and he and Gasket Blue and Girl basically learned the Jackals clap. Also an NBC Spurs game against the same Cheating McDouchebag team. Wemby was a freak of nature that night. Holy shit. Well, therefore, that was because it was in a rim delay. This time it was before the game even started. And unfortunately, the Spurs had the fourth quarter collapse, but not here. This was basically a redemption story from that night. This was deja vu, but it had the happier Disney ending this time instead of the sour ending. So San Antonio set the tone early, basically got off to a hot start, basically came out making a statement, foot on the gas. Harper basically had a great game, proving that he should be a top 5 candidate for Rookie of the Year, even though he most likely won't get it because he's on a good team. If we had a 7th consecutive bad season, I'm pretty sure he would be an easy lock for it because Wemby most likely got it because he's that damn good. Even as a rookie, he was at that level, kind of. But, he was on a bad Spurs team at the time. And, the Cheating McDouchebags, rallied back, to make it a tight contest. It was tight for a little while. Rockets did have a few small leads, briefly from time to time. But after that, come the second quarter, we literally turned on the jets and pulled away, never looked back. Wemby, how do you do that? I wish I could make a shot like that to tie off the glass. It did get a little terrifying later, towards the end of the third quarter, and you'll see why in a little bit. Basically, it was the San Antonio Spurs show at the SBC Center from the second quarter and beyond. 21 3-pointers in one whole game for 48 minutes. Basically, I said it 20 times because I didn't say it for that imposter and Patty Mills number. If you know, you know. So fuck him and everything he stands for taking, an all-time Spurs greats number who should be in the rafters along with 2 others. But I digress. So, therefore, we just kept our foot on the gas. We let it off a little bit. We shall see here in a few. But, we figured it out quickly before it was too late, so we didn't lead into another fourth quarter collapse like the January 20th edition of this in Houston. NBC game, Spurs Jackals clap with, Explosion Boy, Gasket Blowing Girl, and Queen of tearing shit up. But I digress. It's the happier Disney ending this time rather than the sour ending we got in the middle of season 5 of Winter Wonderland. And this time it's during the beginning of season 5 where spring is in the air. So, therefore, excuse me. Yeah, I've had a long day. That's why I didn't ruin YouTube. Look at Harper throwing it down like Johnny Benson. Now watch this magic. Roll it.
Subs here at the end of the half. See what they can get. Harper's been hot. Wemby trails. Fake. Take. Make! To end the half.
Bang, bang, Tito, Puente, Wembenyama at the buzzer. Then Julian Champagny started off the third quarter, picking up where the Spurs left off in the first half. And, you know, this time, other than the end of the quarter, no third quarter blues. Now watch Wembenyama make some magic again.
Wemby back the other way. Full gallop basket back. Wembenyama! Get out of here! Oh, my goodness!
Yeah! Damn!
Exactly what I said. I was hyped. It was like, how the fuck did that shit count? I wish I could do that, let alone I wish I was that tall. But maybe even as a Spurs fan, I should be careful what I wish for. Because if I was that tall like Wembenyama had that big of a wingspan of 8 feet, I wouldn't even be able to fit through the doors at my house or anyone's house in Sandy Ridge or at my job or fit in anybody's fucking car. Oh my goodness. That's how much I fucking love this team. We basically tore that shit up like Terry Labonte. Look at Keldon giving us a 99 for Jeff Burton. Cornette with the alley-oop from Swiper the Fox. I think this is the part where it started getting a little scary to end the third quarter. I'm like, oh my God, are we going to have a repeat of January 20th, part 2? Whenever we went to the neighbors to do the Spurs Jackals clap with them, whether it be before the game or starts or during a delay to the beginning of the game. I mean, Swiper did stop the bleeding temporarily, but they just went on this mini spurt. Or during halftime, it's like, I did not, get, Mila and Abby and Liam hyped up, hype. I didn't get them to hype me up for the. And look at this, it was down to 12. Okay, but when that bucket, whoever just hit that, basically that's when we actually remember how to play basketball and figured it out. And I'm trying to say, I didn't have the neighbors hype me up for this game for nothing, and Swiper proving that why he's Mr. Fourth Quarter and the former clutch player of the year. He is so fucking good now that he's in his prime after spending 8 wasted years in Sacramento and basically in his 9th year and basically entering his prime. This has to be the year we get our 6th championship to earn him a ring that he deserved in Sacramento and get Wemby his first ever ring and our 6th ring overall and our first one post Duncan era. I mean, man, we beat the brakes off the Cheating McDouchebags like it was no mañana. Go Spurs, go Wembenyama, Swiper the Fox, and we'll end this video with the best part of the game.
Attacking Champagny. It was like Wembenyama wasn't looking, but he knew it was coming.
That's right.
Go Spurs, go!
This copyrighted telecast may not be reproduced, retransmitted, or used in any form without the authorized written consent of NASCAR Broadcasting. NASCAR would like to thank all of our fans for your support, and we hope you enjoyed today's broadcast.